week at Robert Frost Elementary, but it's kind of a bittersweet week too, because you are completing your years at Robert Frost Elementary, and you're making the big transition to Silverton Middle School, and you'll get to see a little bit of that this afternoon. Before we get started, I want you to stand and right hand over your heart, and we're going to join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time, have we? All right, voices are off. We're at a level 0. Thank you very much. So I want to welcome all of you. I want to welcome the teachers and the staff from Robert Frost that are here with us today. And I especially want to say a big thank you to our teachers and our staff at Robert Frost. This has been a very, very unusual year, not only for you as students, but also for our teachers in deciding, are we going to do online learning? Are we going to do hybrid learning? Are we going to do it in person? So there's been a lot of ups and downs. It's kind of been like being on a roller coaster. And not only do I want to thank our teachers and our staff, but I also want to thank your parents and your grandparents and your families, because they have worked really hard to be either your learning coach or also to make sure that you were here when you were supposed to be, either cohort A, cohort B, or 4 days a week. So right now, can you give your teachers and staff a big hand for all they've done for you? And in addition, could you also give your parents and your families a round of applause? All right, I have a book that I'm going to read to you. So this is read aloud time, my friends. And the book is called Mrs. Spitzer's Garden. Mrs. Spitzer is a teacher. She is in room 108 at Tremont Elementary School. Inside room 108 are 6 tables, 4 circles, and 2 rectangles. There is a rug in one corner with real hopscotch squares and checkerboards woven in bright colors. There's also a size chart, a birthday chart, a gerbil in a cage, a housekeeping and dress-up corner, a row of 22 pegs for coats and backpacks, and in another corner, Mrs. Spitzer's desk. Raise your hand if you maybe have had a classroom like that here at Robert Frost, either in kindergarten, 1st or 2nd, when you went to Mark Twain, 3rd or 4th. I see some hands. Those were good old days. At the end of summer, Mr. Merrick, the principal, walks down the hall to Mrs. Spitzer's room and gives her a packet of seeds. Mrs. Spitzer consults her calendar and plans her daily schedule. She checks her tools. She makes sure the soil is right, light, and well drained, with plenty of room for sprouting. Then Mrs. Spitzer plants the seeds. Think about who you think the seeds might be. She waters them, she feeds them, and she makes sure they get plenty of sun. The seeds begin to sprout. As the plants grow, Mrs. Spitzer watches them closely. She checks daily for weeds and pests. She knows that different plants need different things, and that each plant has its own shape. they're not just seeds, but they are plants. Some of the plants grow quickly, pushing upward, eager, impatient. Some grow more slowly, unfolding themselves bit by bit. Some plants sprout thin and tall. Some are bushy and wide-spreading. Some are bold and showy. They are brightly colored, saying, "Look at me." Some are silvery and quiet, and the color of the earth. A few are like wildflowers and will grow anywhere you put them. And some need very gentle care, a special watching over. As the seasons change, Mrs. Spitzer tends her garden. And then the year is over and her job is done. But the plants will keep growing, uncurling their stems, stretching their leaves outward, and showing their faces to the sun. Mrs. Spitzer puts away her tools, her daily calendar, and her plan book. Soon another year will start, and Mr. Merrick will once again walk down the hall with a packet of seeds for Mrs. Spitzer. She will dust off her tools, till the soil, and a new garden will begin. Who are the seeds? Who can raise their hand and tell me who are the seeds? Jonathan?
The seeds are her class, and it's having like a metaphorical way of telling us that they're all of different shapes and sizes and they live differently.
Excellent. Whoa, Mrs. Brown, you've done a pretty good job with him. Excellent job, Jonathan. Phenomenal. Go ahead.
Children.
Yes, those seeds were children like you and I used to be. When we grew up, we were seeds. When we were just little babies, we were seeds. We were planted. And now you're fifth graders, almost sixth graders. So nice job. Yes.
I think that when it said that for self and then, I think that might go with summer.
Right. All right, thank you for sharing. All right, who can tell me what the word perseverance means? What does that word perseverance mean? Yes?
Perseverance means like overcoming, like whenever you're like bad at something, you keep on going.
Okay, you might be having difficulty with something, but you keep on going. Who else? Yes?
You have to keep trying even if it's hard.
All right, you keep trying even though it might be hard. Yes? Pardon? Okay, thinking through a hard time. Raise your hand if you felt like this year was difficult. Okay, and because this year was kind of difficult for not only adults, but for also you as students, you had to persevere. So when I was meeting with your teachers, we decided that each and every one of you needed a Perseverance Award. So here's what it says. Perseverance Award, Robert Frost Elementary, June 2021, presented to, and each of your names are on them. Perseverance is commitment, hard work, patience, endurance. Perseverance is being able to bear difficulties calmly and without complaining. Perseverance is trying again and again in appreciation of your hard work during a difficult year. Thank you for not giving up. And it's been signed by your classroom teacher and by myself as your principal. So we're going to start alphabetically with Mr. Brown, then with Mrs. Brown, then with Mrs. Bruckner, then with Mrs. Matska, and then with Mrs. Schatz. And Mr. Brown's going to start us off, so he's going to come up here. I'm going to hand him the certificate, and when your name is called, you come up and you just stand by Mr. Brown, okay? All right, so everybody clear on go. Breeza Arango. Austin Beachboard. Jasper Fierro. Billy Hines. Addie Hoy. Liliana Johnson. Cosmo Kidd. Savannah Whaley. Leilani Rosales. David Rueda. Dawson Sitchley. Oliver St. Clair. Bailey Tarrant. Danica Wynn. Devin Wynn. And Emily Zermano. All right, let's give this group of persevering fifth graders a big round of applause. All right, thank you, Mrs. Brown, and fifth graders, you may be seated. All right, Mrs. Brown, if you want to come on up. All right, here we go. Listen carefully for your name. All right, Kamira Brunley. Jonathan Burgos. Addison Deliski. Tinley Eastman. Hector Estevez. Anthony Fragoso. Preston Galindo. Hunter Jackson. Evelyn Kay. Sunny Coons. Noah Kreitzer. Tobias Kuhn. Justin Rogers. Martin Verdejo. Alexis Alion. Aaliyah Bessie. All right, let's give Mrs. Brown and her fifth graders. Okay, Mrs. Bruckner. So on the spot. All right, Mrs. Bruckner's fifth graders. Eliana Bevel. Elijah Basher. Colton Burning. Bryson Brister. Jory Emmert. Cora Fisher. Ashlyn Goobles. Sierra Gayer. Regan Hayes. Jada Hodges. Ava Kaiser. Daniel Salazar. Michael Miranda. Carlos Morales. Sochil Rocha. And Andrew Bezzi. All right, let's give Mrs. Bruckner and her. Mrs. Matska. All right, Mrs. Matska's persevering students are Emma Aizi, Riley Ashenfelter, Siler Barstad, Morgan Cortain, Michaela Duncan, Sierra Hawks, Nora Holman, Cal Kofstad, Parker Kunders, Araya Taylor. Okay, let's give these students, did you get one? Oh, I'm gonna get your award. All right, let's give these students a round of applause. Nice job. All right, Mrs. Schott's fifth graders. All right, here we go. Noah Blodgett, Keegan Boudreau, Madeline Bratton, Joseph Klotfelter, Brindley Deliski, Caleb Davis, Michaela Engel Kaler, Kaylee Kemp, Justin Clampy, Bella Klug, Stella Lefevre, Presley Morris, Leslie Rocha, and Haley Huber. Right. Okay, now we have certificates of completion, and these say certificate of completion awarded to, and then it has your name, for completion of 5th grade at Robert Frost Elementary in June 2021, and it's signed by your classroom teacher and myself. And because your parents and family couldn't be here, and we still want you to have a round of applause, we have clappers for you. So we're going to have hand clappers. All right? So your teacher will hand this to you and clap. Okay? And then we'll all, at the very end, we'll do a big hand clap. But don't do it until the end. Okay? We'll do it all together on the count of 3. Are you ready? All right. Mr. Brown. Riza Aringo. Austin Beachboard. Addie Hoy. Liliana Johnson. Cosmo Kidd. Savannah Quayle. Leilani Rosales. David Rueda, Dawson Stitchley, Oliver St. Clair, Bailey Tarrant, Danica Wynn, Devin Wynn, and Emily Zermano. All right, on the count of 3, let's have you guys do your hand clappers. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job. Congratulations. Hey, Mrs. Brown. All right, here we go. Panera Brunley, Jonathan Burgos, Addison Deliski, Tinley Eastman, Hector Estevez, Anthony Fergoso, Preston Galindo, Hunter Jackson, Evelyn Kay, Noah Kreitzer, Tobias Kuhn, Justin Rogers, Mark Verdejo, Alexis Alion, and Aaliyah Bessie. All right, here we go. On the count of 3, give yourself a big round of applause. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, nice job, boys and girls. All right, instructors. Okay, no more. Okay. Ready? Eliana Bevel, Elijah Basher, Colton Burney, Jory Emmert, Cora Fisher, Bryson Brister, Ashlyn Hubels, Sierra Geyer, Regan Hayes, Jada Hodges, Ava Kaiser, Daniel Salazar, Michael Miranda, Carlos Morales, Xochitl Rocha, and Andrew Bessie. All right, here we go, guys. This is a big group, so we're going to make lots of noise. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you for your patience and being such a great group of listeners. This is NASCA's 5th graders who are completing 5th grade at Robert Frost. Emma Ayazi, Riley Aschenfelter, Siler Barstad, Morgan Curtain, Michaela Duncan, Sierra Hawks, Nora Holman, Cal Kostad, Parker Penders, and Araya Taylor. All right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, congratulations, guys. All right, the shots. Here we go. All right, Noah Blodgett, Keegan Boudreau, Madeline Bratton, Joseph Plattfelter, Brinley Deliski. Caleb Davis. Michaela Engel-Kaler. Kaylee Kemp. Justin Clampy. Bella Klug. Stella Lefevre. Presley Morris. And Haley Hubert. And Leslie Rocha. Right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Clappers are all down. Okay, let me kind of just tell you before we leave this morning what is in store for you for the rest of the day. You're going to be heading back to your classroom, and at about 12:10, you're going to walk to Coolidge Park. You're going to have lunch, and somebody told me there's going to be a special treat for you there. So after you have lunch, there'll be a special treat. Then about 12:55, you're going to walk from Coolidge Park to Silverton Middle School. You'll go to the stadium. Mr. Davidson and some of the staff will be on the field to talk to you. And then they are going to have your AG teachers available, and you'll be doing some sort of a fun activity with them. And about 2 o'clock, you'll leave Silverton Middle School to head back to Robert Frost for dismissal. So we've got a great day planned for you. It should be a lot of fun as you leave Robert Frost Middle School on Friday and prepare to go to Silverton Middle School. I want you to know, boys and girls, that I have really, really, really enjoyed being here as your principal this year. It's been super fun to get to know you, to see you grow, even to see you online and then to be back in person. That was the most exciting day in your teachers and my lives, was when we got to see you in person. And then it was even better a couple, 3 weeks ago when we got to remove our masks on the playground. And so I actually got to see your faces. It was so exciting. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one last clap-a-roo. And then I will dismiss you by class. All right? So let's do one big clap-a-roo for your teachers first. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And then let's do one big clap-a-roo for you completing 5th grade and demonstrating perseverance. 1, 2, 3. much for joining us today. Today is your not your last day, but today is 5th grade celebration. And we are so excited to be able to honor you as you boys and girls leave Robert Frost Elementary and you go to the middle school. So, raise your hand if you're kind of excited about that. Excellent. Give me a hand down if you're maybe, or like this, if you're kind of, you don't really know. All right, well, most of you are really excited, so that's exciting. So we've got some things planned for you today so that we can send you off with great memories of Robert Frost and all that it has held for you. But right now, I want you to stand and we're going to join together in the flag salute. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. All right. First of all, I want to thank all of you boys and girls. This has been a different year. We've had fires, we've had a pandemic, we've had ice storms, we were online, we were offline, we were in person, we were sort of in person. So I want to thank each and every one of you for doing what you needed to do to get things completed, assignments done. And I also want to say a big thank you to our moms and dads who are hopefully watching us today, and maybe grandparents, because they put a lot of effort into making sure that teaching and learning happened for you as well. Some of them were your learning coaches, some of them were your guides on the side. So let's give moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas a big round of applause. Well, I like to read books. And I have a book that I would like to share with you today. It's called Mrs. Spitzer's Garden. And you will soon find out who Mrs. Spitzer is and how it relates to you today. Mrs. Spitzer is a teacher. She is in room 108 at Tremont Elementary School. Inside room 108 are 6 tables, 4 circles, and 2 rectangles. There is a rug in one corner with real hopscotch squares and checkerboards woven in bright colors. There's also a size chart, a birthday chart, a gerbil in a cage, a housekeeping and dress-up corner, a row of 22 pegs for coats and backpacks, and in another corner, Mrs. Spitzer's desk. Raise your hand if that reminds you of a classroom you might have had in kindergarten, 1st, or 2nd grade. Yes, familiar territory for us. At the end of summer, Mr. Merrick, the principal, walks down the hall to Mrs. Spitzer's room and gives her a packet of seeds. Mrs. Spitzer consults her calendar and plans her daily schedule. She checks her tools. She makes sure the soil is right, light and well drained, with plenty of room for sprouting. Then Mrs. Spitzer plants the seeds. She waters them, feeds them, and makes sure they get plenty of sun. The seeds begin to sprout. As the plants grow, Mrs. Spitzer watches them closely. She checks daily for weeds and pests. She knows that different plants need different things and that each plant has its own shape. Some of the plants grow quickly, pushing upward, eager, impatient. Some grow more slowly, unfolding themselves bit by bit. Some plants sprout thin and tall. Some are bushy and widespreading. Some are bold, showy. They are brightly colored, saying, "Look at me." Some are silvery and quiet, the color of the earth. A few are like wildflowers and will grow anywhere you put them. And some need gentle care, a special watching over. As the seasons change, Mrs. Spitzer tends her garden. And then the year is over and her job is done. But the plants will keep growing, uncurling their stems, stretching their leaves outward, and showing their face to the sun. Mrs. Spitzer puts away her tools, her daily calendar, and her plan book. Soon another year will start, and Mr. Merrick will once again walk down the hall with a packet of seeds for Mrs. Spitzer. She will dust off her tools, till the soil, and a new garden will begin. Who are the Mrs. Spitzers in this room right now? Who can tell me? Raise your hand and tell me. Leilani, who are the Mrs. Spitzers? All of the teachers. Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Heidi, Mrs. Schatz, Mrs. Matska, Mrs. Bruckner, Mrs. Olson. They're all your teachers. Mrs. Lane, Mr. Garrett. All of these people have spent time in your life. And who are the seeds? Who are the seeds? Who are the seeds?
Us.
You are. Right.
All of the learners, all of the growers.
Pardon me?
All the learners who grow through the years.
Exactly. And once you were a seed, you were just a little baby. And now you have grown and you've sprouted and you're ready to go on to middle school. Jonathan?
Some of the things that it says, like they will some grow, like they grow taller and they grow faster or they grow slower.
Right.
It means it's a metaphorical way of saying how little kids learn.
Exactly. Very good point. Go ahead.
Do you make a whole, I get that it's like an analogy, but do you make a garden and then abandon it after 3/4 of the year?
Yeah, that's a good question. We hope not. And that's why your teachers are always going to be with you. You can come and see these people anytime. And I know for a fact, because I've seen some students come back to school to visit their teachers, they are so excited to see you, and they're so excited to hear how you're doing in middle school and beyond. So who can raise their hand today and tell me what perseverance means? What does perseverance mean? Right there. Tell me what perseverance means.
Keep going, and not give up.
Okay, keep going, not give up. Anybody else? What does perseverance mean? Leilani.
Persevering is if you like keep this even if you're keep trying and keep going until you get it right.
Okay, if you don't do something right the first time, you just keep going, you keep trying until you get it right. Yes, Keaton?
I wanted to do what perseverance is. It was something about what I think about the garden.
Okay, I'll take that in a little bit, okay? Go ahead.
Not willing to give up.
Okay, not willing to give up. Well, you boys and girls have had to really persevere this year. It hasn't been easy, but you've worked through the hard times, you've worked through the difficult times, your teachers have worked with you, and so we really felt like today each of you deserve a perseverance award. And so today we have a certificate for you that says Perseverance Award, Robert Frost Elementary, June 2021. Presented to, and it has your name. Perseverance is commitment, hard work, patience, endurance. Perseverance is being able to bear difficulties calmly and without complaint. Perseverance is trying again and again. In appreciation of your hard work during a difficult year, thank you for not giving up. And it's signed by your classroom teacher, Mrs. Spitzer, and me. So, Mrs. Brown, would you come forward? And what we're going to do is, as we call your name, we want you to come forward. Mrs. Brown will give you your certificate, and we want you just to stand up here with her until we're done with your class. Grayson Bliss, Samantha Lord, Sophia Mandish, Leilani McElfresh, Miles Mullick, William Nightingale, Maylee Peterson, Emmett Postlewaite, Olivia Scott, Madeline Sword, Avery Wordinger, Martin Verdejo, Alexis Alion, Hector Estevez, and Sonny Coombs. All right, let's give Mrs. Brown's fifth graders a round of applause. And now we have Mrs. Bruckner's class. Okay, here we go. Juliet Briggs, Joey Lockett, Wyatt Neal, Tori Robinson, Liam Schoper, Connor Sudeman, Casey Tapia, Finley Wirtz, Eliana Bevel, Ava Kaiser, and Michael Miranda. All right, let's give Mrs. Bruckner her All right, Mrs. Matska. Gosh, I love that, I forgot. Okay, Quentin Bruner, Lincoln Larson, Jewel McPherson, Mohammed Mohammed, Abigail Nobles, Sarah Oster, Trayden Primus, Isaac Ridgway, Emily Sitchley, Colin Smith, Nolan Phelan, hold our applause till the end, please, Daniel Tovar, and Uriah Taylor. All right, let's give Mrs. Matska some All right, Mrs. Schatz. Kemper Koonsman, Zach Lyons, Kayla Mengucci, Keegan Mills, Kelsey Mulhern, Fabian Munoz, Jack Musgrove, Javier Resendez, Nathan Smith, Bo Ito, Caleb Whitney, all right, Mrs. Schatz, round of applause.
Nice job, Nate. That's that picture you did. Take a picture.
Mrs. Heidi. Evangeline Hall, Faith Kelly Hickson, Aaliyah Sarabia Stevens, Quentin Burbank, Flynn Dorney, Quinn McCampbell, Colin Ross, Matthew Ross, Javier Sosa, and Nathan St. Juliana. All right, let's give Mrs. Heidi and her two students a round of applause. All right. Next are our completion certificates. And it says, Certificate of Completion awarded to Javier or whoever for completion of 5th grade at Robert Frost Elementary in June 2021. And because your parents and family members couldn't be here today, we have some hand clappers for you. And so when you come up here today to get your certificate, you're also going to get hand clappers, and each of you will be able to give yourself a round of applause when we're finished. All right, so Mrs. Heidi, let's go ahead and get started with you first. And I'm going to say everybody's name again in case somebody's watching online. All right, Javier Sosa, Evangeline Hall, Faith Kelly Hickson, clapping as I'm, Aaliyah Sarabia Stevens, Kirsten Tamarda, Quentin Burbank, Flynn Dorney, Quinn McCampbell, Colin Ross, Matthew Ross, Nathan St. Juliana. All right, let's give these two students a round of applause. Boys and girls, and thank you for joining us today. All right, next is Mrs. Brown. All right, Alexis Alion, Martin Verdejo, Hector Estevez, Grayson Bliss. Hey, we're gonna hold our applause, guys. Samantha Lord, Sophia Mandish, Leilani McElfresh, Miles Mullick, William Nightingale, Maylee Peterson, Emmett Postlethwaite, Olivia Scott, Madeline Sword, Avery Werdinger, all right, let's give Mrs. Brown's 5th graders a big clap. And we need Sonny Coons to be up here with us. Where is he? There he is. All right, Mrs. Matzka. Here we go. Quentin Bruner, Lincoln Larson, Jewel McPherson, Mohammed, Abigail Nobles, Sarah Oster, Traden Primus, Isaac Ridgway, Emily Sitchley, Nolan Thielen, Daniel Tovar, Araya Taylor, and Colin Smith. All right, clap those names. All right, Bruckner. All right, I'm going to start off with Perseverance that we left out, not purposely. Finley McGuire and Weston Hay. Come on up, guys. Excellent job. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. So I'm going to have them just stay up here. And so Finley gets his completion award as well as Weston. And we've got hand clappers. So Finley, here's your certificate of completion. And Weston, here's your certificate of completion. And then we're going to have Juliet Briggs join them. Nice job. And Ava Kaiser. Michael Miranda. Eliana Bevel. Joey Lockett. Wyatt Neal. Tori Robinson. Liam Shepard. Connor Suderman. Casey Tapia. Finley Words. Tori Robinson. All right, let's give them a big round of applause. All right, shots. All right. Kemper Kuzman. Zach Lyons. Kayla Mengucci. Keegan Mills. Kelsey Mulhern. Fabian Munoz. Jack Musgrove. Katia Resendes. Nathan Smith. Bo Uto. And Caleb Whitney. All right, can you give yourself a round of applause? Thank you very much. All right, boys and girls, this concludes our ceremony this morning, or our celebration, but I want to let you know what's going to happen from now throughout the rest of the day. Your teacher's going to take you back to your classroom. You'll do some sort of a fun activity together. And then about 10 after 12, we're going to take our lunches and head down to Williams McLean Park, have lunch, and word on the street is there's a special treat for you. So we'll have that. Then you will leave about 1 o'clock or so to head over to the middle school. And look at this bright, sunshiny weather. Your friends in cohort A yesterday, we got a little wet. The sky unloaded. So, we're going to have a great walk to Silverton Middle School. I'll wait. Thank you. When you get to the middle school, you will be sitting in the stadium. Mr. Davidson, the principal, and the AG teachers, Mrs. Gerlitz, they will be there to greet you. They'll tell you a little bit about middle school, and then you'll go with your AG teacher, meet that teacher, and do an activity with them. And then about 2:15 or so, you'll head back to school for dismissal. So, one last clap with your clapper for all that you have done so well. Okay, so Mrs. Heidi, I'm going to let you excuse your children. Mrs. Brockner, I'm going to let you excuse your children. Finley and Weston, can I see you guys in my office? I want to do something for you. And Sunny, can I see you in my office too? I want to do something. Okay.